Welcome to this very special edition of the Scientific Audiophile, where we are going to give you two reviews of the same product. Why? Well, there's been a little bit of controversy recently with some of our reviews and some of our videos that a lot of people think we're being a little bit too harsh, not just on products, but also on other reviewers. This recently displayed itself when a rock went through our window, and my mom got pretty freaked out because the rock had a little note on it saying, "Stop doing your stupid videos." Now, my mom's a pessimist, so she got pretty scared, freaking out that maybe someone might come in the house one day and really cause some trouble. But I told her to be optimistic because now she knows exactly what a rock through a window sounds like. And so when we watch a movie and we see a rock go through a window, we have a real reference. We can now tweak those speakers and tweak our EQ to sound as perfect as possible. So to the person who threw the rock through the window, thank you. Your timing was perfect. The reference is in our heads, and now we can really create a great home theater environment. So with that said, we are going to do something so different. The two reviews are for two reasons. One is a standard review. The standard review is a standard YouTube review. Someone gets sent a product, they review it. Then there's going to be the Scientific Audiophile review. In our community tab on our page, we are going to create a poll, and you can choose which review you like better, the standard YouTube style review or the Scientific Audiophile review. And because this is a democracy, we're going to let you make the decision of the very future of how the Scientific Audiophile reviews products. So, without further ado, let's watch video number one. If you're anything like me, you're always looking for a bargain. So when I saw these MonoPrice DT-3s for under $100 on Amazon, I had to try them out. Lo and behold, when I got them home, little did I realize these weren't just two-way speakers. These were two-way powered speakers. That's right, you don't need an amp. These little guys could, if they sound good, save you hundreds of dollars in your HiFi system. And before we get to the sound, before we get to the specs, you have to understand how phenomenal the MonoPrice engineers were to be able to design these speakers with the amplifier, build them, ship them, get them to the distribution warehouse, and then send them to you for less than $80. It's phenomenal that these things even work, let alone sound as good as they do. And that's the important part, the sound. Let's get to the specs first. With a 3.5-inch woofer and a 3/4-inch silk dome tweeter, these MonoPrice DT-3s are rated at 75 to 20,000 Hertz. Top that all off with a 50-watt internal amplifier, and you've got yourself an entire stereo system in a box. All you need is the source material. I hooked up my existing iPad, and this is what I heard. As you can hear, bass response is phenomenal for a 3.5-inch woofer. Now, MonoPrice engineers can't break the physics barrier, so if you really want to go below that, you're going to need a sub. But for a small room like this, you probably don't even need it or want it. The mid-range response on these speakers was phenomenal. I wasn't expecting smooth and articulate, but that's exactly what I got. Diana Krall sounded like she was sitting in front of me. Now, placement was important. These speakers can be placed anywhere you want, and because they're so small, you can really get that soundstage just the way you want because you can put them in places that a large speaker just can't go. And here's a little taste of what these speakers can really do. Let's turn it up. Was never fatiguing on these speakers, and I give MonoPrice a lot of credit for that 3/4-inch silk dome tweeter. They really hit the ball out of the park on this one. Now, are they as good as my reference 1008 Dimension DC8Ts and my Yamaha AS2200 amplifier? Well, no, but at less than 1/100th the price. You wouldn't expect them to be. These work exactly as you want them to. They are great little powered speakers that work perfectly in a small room. In fact, I can't even fit my Tannoy DC-ATs in this room. So if you have a small room where you want high quality, high-end sound, I can't recommend the MonoPrice DT-3s more. And it doesn't stop there. They come with both an auxiliary input and a headphone output. You literally have the entire stereo system right here in the palm of your hands. Set them up and forget them. They're that good. If I have any complaints at all about the DT3s, it's purely the fact that they are so small that they just can't overcome the limitation of that 75 Hz barrier to the low end. But again, easily fixable with a quality subwoofer. We really live in a phenomenal time where less than $100 gets you a powered set of speakers that are almost as good as anything 2 or 3 times their price, and those don't come with an amplifier. I really want to thank MonoPrice for sending these to me because they really opened my mind. I didn't think under $100 with a powered set of speakers was going to get you anything near what you would call and I would call high-end audio. But boy, was I wrong. Have an open mind. I put a link in the description below. Pick these up, and if you like them half as much as I do, you'll be smiling ear to ear for every track you listen to. Now, to conclude, you obviously know I love these speakers. Are they the end-all, be-all to your hi-fi journey? Maybe not. But for some, maybe yes. If you like this review, please like and subscribe to our channel. We'll have more budget audiophile gear coming to you and maybe saving you a lot of money, because you don't have to spend thousands to get fantastic sound, as the MonoPrice DT-3 prove. We've been getting a large number of requests for budget speakers, budget audiophile products. Now, we kind of really aimed this channel towards the high end, but we decided let's take a quick look at some sub $100 products and picked up a pair of MonoPrice DT-3 powered speakers. And as you can see here, they're quite diminutive in size, so you can pretty much place them wherever you want. But because they're so small, you have to assume they're not going to be able to play big, large venues. One thing that might come to your mind is, how does MonoPrice get a pair of powered speakers out for under $100, knowing that the retailer has to make a profit, MonoPrice has to make a profit, MonoPrice also has to build in service in case something goes wrong, the amplifier blows, etc., and has to be replaced, cost of shipping back and forth, and design these, package them, distribute them, all for under $100. And this is where you have to say to yourself, thank God for China's child labor laws, because that's the only way this happens. So we did what we normally do, 200 hours of pink noise to warm them up. And when that was done, we started playing the queen of the king of instruments, you got it, Diane Bish, to see how these little speakers could handle her great music. Now, normally our listening sessions go for hundreds of hours as we really try to figure out, did that treble that sounded a little bit high sound a little shrill? Was the mid-range just a little bit loppy? Did it not really hold the vocals as much as we would want? And did the woofer really handle the deep passages throughout each track? And this is what we spend our time thinking about. These MonoPrice DT-3s didn't require any of that thought, because the entire frequency range that these things played sounded like garbage. They were that bad. So within only about 75 hours of listening, we decided to go directly to doing a few measurements to see if the crap I was hearing was the crap that a microphone would hear. And here's what we found out. So as you can see from our first graph, the frequency response here is so bad, it's not fixable. Between 135 hertz and 800 hertz, there's a 15 decibel drop. And then the smiley face kicks right back in. Don't even try to fix a speaker with a graph that looks this bad. How bad's distortion? Well, at first you might say, well, I've seen worse. And then you have to say to yourself, where was the mic? My mic was placed 6 inches away at 85 decibels. So if we're going to record this at 12 inches, we get a nice jump in distortion. And like most people, you're probably getting about 2 feet away from the speaker, even if it's on your desk. And now distortion starts to completely overtake the music in the low frequencies and starts to get ugly, even up in the mid frequency just below 2000 hertz. So I don't have to tell you anything else. If you don't know how to read a graph, just look at this, and anything that looks like this, stay as far away from as possible. So that's all from the second review, the Scientific Audiophile review. Please go to our community tab and vote in our poll. Do you want to see more of the YouTube style standard reviews, or do you want to see more scientific audiophile reviews? Thank you so much, and we hope you subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Thanks.